How's it going, everyone? Thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. My name is Swanee, and today I'm joined by my friend Cookie, who's also my editor. You guys may have already heard him in two of my previous videos. But today I wanted to talk about some brand new information that just came out about Palworld, and it's pretty crazy. They just tweeted this out. They said the total number exceeds 19 million. So 19 million players. They said it's been less than 2 weeks since Palworld was released. Thank you. Steam has sold 12 million copies, and Xbox has sold 7 million copies, or 7 million players. I'm assuming that's combined with Game Pass. They said we'll continue to prioritize fixing bugs. Thank you for your continued support of Pocket Pair.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all, considering Elden Ring. It took Elden Ring, which, one game of the year, it's freaking Elden Ring, took them a year to reach 20 million copies sold, and this did it in less than 2 weeks. So that's freaking nuts.
Yeah. I mean, we knew the number was going to be ridiculous. They haven't given us an update in a while. I don't think they've given us an update since it was like 5 million, but we knew based on the trajectory it had to be pretty high. Didn't disappoint. We're practically at 20 million already in less than 2 weeks. So it's pretty wild, and there was a lot of people that had wondered, is this going to be, and we'll talk about this a little bit, if this game is going to be like a flash in a pan. Is it only going to be a real quick deal and then it falls off? I mean, at least we can say comfortably it hasn't fallen off yet. It's clearly still on that massive upward trajectory within this period of time. I think the big question that this begs is, will this continue? Will they be able to keep this going for months and months and months? But they've definitely been able to keep it going for at least about 10 days.
Yeah, well, I mean, as of today, as of recording this video, which is the January 31st, there's still at least 1 million players playing on Steam, like, as of right now, which is crazy, because they haven't had any, like, new content updates or anything. It's still early access, and the fact that there's still 1 million people on the daily, more than that technically with Xbox, playing this is just nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah, and this is just not something we've seen too many times in the past. There's only been a couple of games that have put up numbers like this, and those games are still around today. Those are some of the same games that are still blowing up weekly. It's just, you just wonder, does Palworld have that in it? Can it be as big? It feels almost sacrilegious to say, can it be a Fortnite? Can it be that level of popularity, or Minecraft or something that's like the top of the top?
I really hope so.
Yeah, it feels like that's almost sacrilegious to say, but it's comparable. I mean, these are the kind of starts that those kind of games had. Of course, I think both Fortnite and Minecraft didn't start nearly this well. They just got to a point where they exploded.
Plus, I want to jump in here real quick. This is 19 million copies sold, or 19 million players, and this isn't including PlayStation or like the Switch.
Yeah.
Could you imagine how many players it would be if the PlayStation got a hold of this? It would probably be close to 30 million.
Yeah, which you would think they'll eventually do, which is a whole other conversation of the console wars and everything about that. But yeah, I mean, it's not even available everywhere. It's just Steam and Xbox right now, and the Xbox version is still pretty messed up, I believe. I don't think it's had massive. It's improved, but I think the Xbox version is still pretty bad. So
it's still not even comparable to Steam. It's night and day difference.
So I mean, even so, it's not even that. In a way, it's not even available on Xbox. At least not the best version of it. So yeah, it could be even bigger numbers if they'd had wider availability and wider accessibility to the best version and everything.
Well, that, and like, the developers were 100% caught off guard with this. They were not expecting this game to blow up the way that it did, and they were continuously reporting like the player numbers, like every million they would be like, hey, 5 million players, 6 million players, but then they got so much harassment that the community managers stopped doing it because they were just getting so much hate all the time, because this game has a lot of controversies. And the Pokemon fans aren't too happy with this, but I'm all for Palworld. I hope it just completely kills off, well, not kills off Pokemon, but I want Pokemon to like get their shit together and realize how good that their Pokemon games could be, because Palworld is just miles ahead of Pokemon at this point.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely rooting for Palworld. I want it to go as far as it can go. I've had no reason to dislike it so far. Seems like a game that has a lot of love put into it, and seems like a game with a ton of potential. There's so much in this game already, but there's so much more they could do, and that's going to be the determining factor on whether it does become a Fortnite or Minecraft, because both of those games, especially Fortnite, constantly is updating, constantly is evolving, constantly is changing, and keeping the player base invested. So, yeah, I mean, if Palworld can do that, which hard to tell in the first 10 days, but if they can keep up with that,
I just hope that they
sky's the limit.
I hope they don't go the route of microtransactions and stuff. I don't want them to see, hey, we've made X amount of money. We could make even more money if we sell like outfits or different PAL accessories and that kind of stuff. I hope they don't go that route.
It would be nice for me personally, but as from a business perspective, there's no reason for them not to. Because the games I've mentioned, they're all massively heavy in microtransactions. Fortnite lives off of it. It's a free game otherwise. But so I don't think there's much data to show that microtransactions would be bad for business. People wouldn't like it, but that clearly hasn't mattered. Yeah, they'll still probably play it. So we'll see. I think the key for them is to make sure if they're going to do microtransactions, there might be a time period that they can get away with it and a time period that they can't. The timing is what's going to be really important for them, because it is a paid game. It's not free. So, well, unless Game Pass, but that's not really free either.
Putting in microtransactions.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that basically puts it in the category of, look, you can't use that as an excuse like we have to, like your Fortnite or something. But you're right, microtransactions are in any game.
But okay, they went on to, like in that tweet, they said that they will continue to prioritize fixing bugs, which brings me into the next topic. Today, as of you guys probably watching this video, they have server maintenance going on. They said that there will be some changes to the multiplayer system infrastructure at 10 PST on 131. So that is going on right now. So if any of you are experiencing any trouble like logging in and stuff, that's why. And this is a good sign that they're working on the servers. They probably didn't have enough server space and stuff for 20 million players. So the servers have been pretty crappy the past week. Like, I know we've disconnected on and off throughout the past week. So hopefully they get that stuff fixed.
Yeah, so far, Palworld has mainly focused on, and they've said this a couple times, saying that like they're just trying to focus on fixing like game-breaking bugs, which is smart. They're not like nickel and diming the little glitches. They're trying to get the giant stuff out of the way where people can't enjoy the game at all. That's mainly been what all their patch notes have mainly said, has been stuff like the game will crash as soon as you open it, or the game won't work at all. So it'll be interesting when they get that stuff shuffled out and they're fixing beyond just the giant glitches and stuff, and then they get to some of the smaller glitches. And then, like we've kind of already mentioned, when will they start making improvements and those kind of updates? I know we're 10 days in, it's an early access game, but there's just so many things that they could do, and it's hard not to speculate on what exactly that would be. And there's also a lot of people probably forgot about this, but Palworld got announced like 2 years ago, I think, with this trailer, that when you watch it now and you play the game, there's a significantly different game, completely different. Almost everything in the trailer is not available in this early access version, which is very interesting.
Even the graphics look a little bit better in this announcement trailer.
Well, not
And
only
some
they
of the
look different,
things that they
they're
do,
like a whole nother style. They're not even like the same art style as the current game, and they look better.
Yeah, in this announcement trailer, there's things that, like, it looks like there's PvP going on. It looks like there's an arena showed off at some point. There's, like, crazy building and farming, and the pals are, like, gathering wood and actually building the house. Like, it's really crazy just all the amount of stuff that they're doing in this trailer versus what we actually got in this game preview. So hopefully, with their future plans and the changes and the bug fixes and stuff, we start to see some of the stuff that they originally teased in this trailer. Because I would love to get even half of the stuff that's in that announcement trailer. There's like freaking castles and stuff and like crazy over the top buildings. And I think there was a rocket ship in one of the scenes. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah, they're much more detailed too. I mean, the building is very, very detailed. Like, the building now is pretty basic by comparison. I mean, I didn't think the building was that bad, but watching how they're doing the building in the trailer, it's like super detailed. You got pengullets literally sitting on top of each other, passing wood up so they can build on a second floor of a house. Like, we don't have that. We got cows plowing wheat fields. Like, it's much more involved. So I think we got a very early version of what they were.
Even the combat
wanted
looks
to do
a lot more polished in the trailer.
Yeah, and it looks like you can do a lot more with it. Like, you can use, I know you can use some things as shields, but you can't really, not the way that they were doing it in this trailer. And there was total areas that aren't in the game. There's some pals in the trailer that I don't think are in the game, or I know aren't in the game. But yeah, it looks to me like this is just stuff that they have sort of finished, but not usable yet. And they want to see if they can, or maybe they just want to generate interest on the base of the game that they could put out right now. I mean, because if they had that stuff, at least recordable 2 years ago for a trailer, they probably still have it in their arsenal. It's just, it's very interesting to see.
I feel like a lot of the stuff
the differences
they said is planned in the roadmap is probably referring to things in this announcement trailer, because they said there's going to be new islands. I mean, that could be some of those like castle environments that we've seen, like the floating structures. That could be the new islands. They want new pals, new bosses, new technologies. Could be like the rocket ship that was shown. Then they said they want to do improvements to the AI pathing, which definitely needs fixed. If anything needs fixed immediately, it's probably the AI being just completely stupid sometimes. I think that's one of everybody's biggest pet peeves with the game, is like, you can, as soon as you leave your base and come back, suddenly your pals are like stuck and they're starving to death.
Yeah.
So that needs fixed, but hopefully with this roadmap, it makes it look like the announcement trailer, because if it even is remotely close to this announcement trailer, I think the game's going to be phenomenal, and it very well could be the next Fortnite.
It could be. I mean, it just shows a lot of potential. A lot of it's just going to depend on if they get the timing right, if they hit the right time to be doing updates, if they don't wait too long. I don't think they necessarily need to roll out stuff immediately very, very soon, but, people will get bored, and They got to have something ready to keep that momentum going. But, I mean, like you said, they still have 1 million concurrent players right now, which is nuts to have 10 straight days, basically, since
me
release.
And you, we've played on 3 different servers now. We had a server on Xbox, and then we had a busted, like, broken server with the settings just for making videos, and then we have a legit server. And even, like, with 3 different servers, we're still to the point where, like, we're kind of running out of things to do. There's not really much of a late game. Like, once you capture all the pals that you want, and you get your base built up, and you capture, like, all the late game pals, it's like, okay, well, what do I do now? It's like, there's no, like, end goal.
And even the boss battles, they're not... Unfortunately, the boss battles are more of just, like, make sure you have a really, really good pal and hope that they aggro them the whole time. Because there's almost nothing you can do to make yourself good enough to take on a boss by itself. I don't care how, like, upgrades you get, at least the big, big, big bosses. It's very, very hard to go up against them, like the Jetragon or something. You basically... What I'm trying to say is they're not detailed enough yet. They're not to the point where you can get really creative at the moment with trying to beat bosses, so they could definitely do a lot more with those things. There's certain elements of the game that could take a lot more improvement, but there's, the interest is there. I mean, just because it's a builder game doesn't mean it can't be huge. I mean, just think of Minecraft or even Ark, which isn't nearly as big as Minecraft, but still a very, very popular game.
Yeah. I know they wanted to add raids, and the raids could be like a late game thing. Like if there's like this huge POW, because I know in the trailer they have like giant whale-looking things that you can ride. So maybe they'll have like this huge POW where like a whole server has to fight it, or you need like a whole army of your pals to take on this thing. Like they just need some sort of big in-game boss or something, or some story elements. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that they could add.
Yeah, and clearly from the trailer, there's a lot of stuff they had tried to add, and hopefully didn't just totally delete from the files and just hasn't been able to put them in the game yet without having issues. So I'm willing to bet that there's going to be a crap ton of features for them to add. I just hope they can add them sooner rather than too late and lose people's interest. But they still got time, because obviously Palworld's still got a lot of interest right now, and I'm rooting for him. I really hope it works out for him. It's a fun game.
Out of all the popular games the past couple years, like the Fortnites or the Apex Legends or any of these big money makers that just don't, they just refuse to die. If anything's going to reach that level of fame, I want it to be Palworld.
Yeah, and it's easy to root for these smaller developers too. Like we just played Suicide Squad and hated that, and it's just kind of another feels manufactured moneymaker kind of video game, and this game seems more like a game made with a little bit of love and passion, which is what people is kind of lacking in a lot of video games lately. So it's always good to see, and it's not the only game I've seen lately that's been doing this kind of stuff. It's just it's good to see this kind of happening again in the video game industry. Hopefully that's a trend that keeps up too.
Yep. Well, 19 million players is absolutely nuts. And I hope to see them keep growing from here. Yeah, congratulations, Palworld. So yeah, let us know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Let me know if you guys are still playing Palworld, and let me know if you guys are like kind of reaching the same point as us, where you're starting to run out of things to do. I don't know. Maybe it's just us because we've been playing it nonstop for 2 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know down in the comments. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. That way you guys don't miss out on any future videos. And that's going to do it for us, and we will talk to you all in the next video.
Bye-bye.